Pues bienvenidos todos y cada uno de ustedes a esta tarde, una tarde maravillosa de Lifetime Movies, en donde hoy tenemos la oportunidad increíble de poder entrevistar a uno de los íconos más grandes de la industria discográfica, Gloria Gaynor. Su tema Will Survive es la segunda canción más sonada y tocada en el mundo entero. Y una de las cosas más importantes es que hoy Lifetime se complace en presentar la película biográfica, el biopic de Gloria Gaynor, para conocer su vida y entender detrás de esta persona y de esta celebridad quién es Gloria Gaynor. Lifetime se enorgullece así de presentar esta película y vamos a compartir con ustedes una promoción. Pero antes vamos a recordar que todo el material que estemos compartiendo con ustedes hoy, aquí, ahora, es para promoción y difusión de esta increíble biografía o película biográfica de Lifetime Movies con el tema I Will Survive de Gloria Gaynor. And now is the moment to introduce to the absolute queen of disco, Gloria Gaynor.
Opportunity to share with people hope and encouragement and faith, to recognize that you can make it. You can make it through whatever it is that you feel that you're suffering in life. The song celebrates the tenacity of the human spirit, so that when people hear it, they become encouraged and they become uplifted and empowered. And that was my purpose for recording the song.
Your life has not been easy, but not everyone knows what you went through in your whole life. So tell
Right.
us how this movie with Lifetime happened. How Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, the biopic with Lifetime happened.
Well, Robin Roberts contacted actually my producer of my of my sorry my documentary. Um, um, put it out, and Robin Roberts saw it and decided that she wanted to do the biopic. But Robin Roberts is, of course, the producer from Lifetime.
What we're going to get to know in this movie without any big spoilers, why people should watch this movie.
Well, you're going to get to know a bit more of me, of my private life, and the struggles that I had with my marriage and with my career. And you're going to hopefully learn that you can make it through if you're having any symptoms, any problems similar to mine, or even different problems, that you can make it through. You can survive.
I Will Survive is one of your most famous songs, but you have so many songs in your repertoire. Which one
Hmm.
is your favorite and
I will
why?
survive. It's my favorite because of what it does for people, for my public. It is my purpose to uplift, encourage, and empower people. And the song does that. It also, I can always know that when I do it in my shows, that I'm giving the audience something that will last them beyond the duration of the concert. They have something to take home with them, that courage, that encouragement.
But it seems that it's not good enough for you. You always want more. Now you just released a new record with new singles
Hmm.
and new songs. So tell us what we should expect from this new record of yours.
Well, Fighter Known is one of the songs on the album that I really love. It kind of takes off where I Will Survive left off, helps you to look back and see how far you've come. In case you're at a place where you're beginning to wonder about your ability to survive whatever difficulties you're now going through in life. A fighter known helps you to look back and see what you've already overcome, and that you are an overcomer, that you are a survivor, and that you can overcome and thrive with whatever it is challenges that are facing you or you are facing today.
Do you want to sing a little part of any song from a new record for us?
If I'd have known that you never would have loved me forever, I'd have found someone better who could hold me tight.
Wow, you still got it. You're amazing. So, what it comes to your mind when you watch something like that with us?
Just how well I was received and how warm the audience was, how they made me feel so loved and welcome, and it was wonderful.
So now we are going to have the time for the Q&A.
Okay.
Mariana, are you ready
Yes,
for this?
Marco Vergara from Colombia, claro.
Hi, Gloria. Hi, everyone. It's a really good pleasure having you here for us. For all Latin America, it's an honor to hear you. And just remember
Thank you.
so many moments like this in Viña del Mar in Chile. It was amazing just to hear you talking in Spanish, for example. And then I got to tell you that the first time I hear I Will Survive, it was over the Selena Quintanilla voice. And then I hear and then in my life I hear your version and it was like, oh my god, that's, I think, how you are inspiring so many artists like her. And then I hear the version in Spanish of Celia Cruz, Queen of Salsa, and I don't know how you resonate with those artists that sample the version, the original version that it was I Will Survive. We're turning 46 years of I Will Survive. And then asking you about how this is resonating with you, with the thing that is an anthem for LGBTQ community, because I'm part of the LGBTQ community. And I want to hear you, how this resonate with you, because like you said so many times, it represents a lot of battles for a different audiences, you know. So I want to hear how this resonate with you.
Well, I feel like mission accomplished. That I have done what I set out to do with this song. As I said, to uplift and encourage and empower people to make it through whatever difficulties they are having in their lives. So I feel that this song has really done that for me and for my audience. And I'm very pleased when I hear someone re-recording it, because as we say in America, that imitation is the greatest form of compliment. So if someone hears me do a song and they think that they should do it as well, that's complimentary to me. And so I'm very pleased and happy that other people seek to re-record the song. I'm happy for myself, and I'm certainly happy for the writers.
Thank you so much. Mariana, can you help us with the next question, please?
Yes, of course. Carlos Bogosian from Primera Fila, Argentina.
Hola Gloria, un placer. Tengo dos preguntas breves para hacerle. La primera, ¿cuánto influyó en usted la elección de Joaquina Calucango para el protagónico de su biopic? Y después, si puede comentarme acerca de dos referentes musicales como fueron Donna Summer y Diana Ross. Quería saber si usted escuchaba su música o qué opinaba de su música y si escuchaba sus canciones.
Well, the producers brought Joaquina Calacongo to me, and we met on a Zoom meeting, and we talked, and I immediately loved her and felt that she was absolutely the right choice for an actress to play the part of me in the biopic. She is a lovely person and a wonderful actress, and even a great singer as well. So she was perfect for the part. And so I was very, very happy to have her do that.
Thank you. We are ready for Juan Carlos. I'm sorry. Do you have another question, Carlos?
Sí, por favor, acerca de Diana Ross y Donna Summer,
Sure.
dos referentes
Oh.
musicales.
Right. Well, we all came up in our careers together, so I listened to them as we came up together, but the people that I learned from in my career were much older than I am, like Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra and Gloria Lynn and Ella Fitzgerald. Those are the people that I learned to sing from. Those are the people that I gathered different things for, like diction and phrasing and things that artists today don't seem to to care about. But in my day, we were interested in phrasing, and I always sought to bring out in my song whatever the writer intended. And I found that in those artists as well. So those were the ones that I would listen to. I mean, like I said, I listened to Diana Ross and Gladys Knight and Aretha Franklin and all of them. But as my peers, I can't say there was much that I learned from them.
Thank you. We are ready for the next question. We have so many questions. The next one is from Juan Carlos García de Reforma, México.
Hello, Mrs. Gaynor. A pleasure to have the chance to talk to you. And hello, everyone. You mentioned that I Will Survive is your favorite song, but I guess in your repertoire, there is another song that maybe you consider was overshadowed by the popularity of this one, or maybe you have another one that could be your favorite or the one that is most attached to the crowd, to the audience.
Well, there are a lot of songs that I recorded that I wished had more exposure, and that were, as you say, overshadowed by I Will Survive, that people just continue to play I Will Survive, and the record companies even didn't really promote the other songs that I thought were great songs, and my recordings of them. So yeah, there were like I recorded "You're All I Need to Get By." It was a wonderful arrangement and recording, but they never bothered to promote it. There was one called "Even a Fool Would Let Go." They never bothered to promote that. There was another one called "You Keep Running." They never bothered to promote. So there were lots of songs that were overshadowed by I Will Survive, but also because the record companies just didn't bother to release them or promote them.
Thank you very much.
Now we are going to... No, Juan Carlos, gracias. ¿Algo más?
Nada más. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. Now we are going with Melvin Arce from El Comercio, Perú.
Hello, Gloria. Hi, this is Melvin Arce from El Comercio in Peru. Thank you for your time.
Hello.
Well, as you were saying at the beginning, there are many aspects and moments in your life portrayed in this film, your career, your personal life, also your faith. I wanted to ask you first, what parts of your story did you insist the most on including, no matter what, on this film? And also what moment of your life impacted you the most while watching it revisited in this film?
I definitely wanted my faith to come forth, and I think they did a great job with it. I was very happy about how they did that. The moment that I really, really wanted to make sure was in the film was when the Holy Spirit spoke to me and I was about to get involved in cocaine. And they did that very well.
Great answer. Thank you. Now we are going with Fernanda Talarico from UL, Brazil.
César, she is not here. We continue with Gustavo Yadó from La Nación Argentina. Gustavo.
Tiene el micrófono apagado.
¿Ahí se me escucha?
Sí.
Sí.
Bueno, perdón. Hola, Gloria, ¿qué tal? Quisiera saber,
Bien, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
más allá de los infortunios que te tocó vivir durante la primera etapa de tu
¿Tiene
carrera.
No escucho a nadie. No escucho a Gustavo, no escucho a Gloria. What's going on?
¿Me escuchan a mí?
Ahora
hola,
sí.
hola.
Sí.
¿Me
Perfecto.
escuchan? Sí,
Yes.
digo, más allá de los infortunios que te tocó vivir en la primera etapa de tu carrera, que quedan muy claros a lo largo de la película, me gustaría hacer un poco hincapié en tus recuerdos positivos sobre tu primera etapa. ¿Cuáles son esos recuerdos positivos que atesorás de la primera etapa de tu carrera, la más exitosa, cuando fuiste definida como la reina de la música disco? Y además, ¿cómo era tu relación con Donna Summer, a la que también se la definía así? ¿Eran amigas, enemigas, competían entre sí, o cómo era la relación?
Well, first of all, the first part of your question was I forgot it already. I'm sorry, what was the first part of your question?
Sí, sobre tus recuerdos positivos de la primera etapa de tu
Oh, the
carrera.
positive memories of from the first part of my career. Yeah, there are lots of them, especially in South America, and Viña del Mar, and in Argentina, and I will never forget being in Viña del Mar. I was in my hotel, and I looked out the window, and the people were screaming my name outside the hotel. I'd never had that happen to me before, and that was a memory that I cherish and will never forget. And there's lots of things like that that have happened to me throughout South America. That's why I so much love going and performing there. You know, it's wonderful to feel loved, and I always feel that when I go there. Of course, one of my greatest memories is from I Will Survive is when it reached #1 on the Billboard charts. That was fantastic for me. And then when it came down and went back up to #1, that was even more exciting. And so those were kind of the exciting things in my career. I mean, there's so many highlights. Performing at Madison Square Garden, singing that song, and performing at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, performing that, and just kind of around the world. As far as the oh gosh,
Relationship with
81
Donna
years old.
Summer.
My relationship with Donna Summer, well, it was great. I never forget, we came back together on a flight. Neither one of us knew that the other was going to be on the flight. But not only were we on the flight, we were seated across the aisle from one another. And I think that the other passengers probably wanted to throw us off the plane because we talked the entire flight. But yeah, she was lovely, lovely young lady, extremely well talented, as we all know, and just a delight, a pleasure.
Thank you so
Muchas
much.
gracias, Gloria.
Now we have Pulimetro Chile. Pulimetro Chile.
Hi, Gloria. Thanks so much for taking this time to do this for all the journalists in South America. I was wondering two things. First of all, what was the biggest challenge while working on this biopic? And also, do you think there's a message for new generations about not just surviving, but thriving?
In the biopic?
Yeah, the biopic.
Is there a message? Well, first of all, the biggest challenge of the biopic was deciding what parts of my life I wanted to share, because you know that you can't fit a person's entire life in an hour and a half. So I had to decide which parts that I thought were most important for people to know. And of course, my faith was the most important thing, because that is what has carried me through. That is how I have survived. You know, the song encourages me as well. When I sing it, when I hear it, it encourages me as well, but nothing encourages me like my faith in Christ Jesus and all that he has brought me through, because, you know, I can conjure up all the strength that I have, but if he doesn't give me strength, it doesn't amount to that much.
Thank you so much, and you happen to be so
And what
right.
about, sorry,
Now
and
we
what
are
about
going.
the message for new generations within the film?
Then the film, oh my goodness, there's a lot in there. First of all,
Sorry.
that's okay. First of all, I want people to recognize that, as I have said many times, without faith in God, I Will Survive is little more than a catchphrase. You know, you have to get your strength and your courage and your power from somewhere. And that's where I get mine. And I know that that is the best place to get hope, faith, courage, power to make it through the difficult times in your life. Yeah, that's, and the other thing that I want people to know is that performing is a job. It is a wonderful job. It is an uplifting job. It is an encouraging job. It is a life-giving job, but it is also a job. And so if you don't want to work, then don't get into show business, because it is not easy. It is not easy by a long shot. But if you love it, then it's a great way to live. It's a great career, and I'm ever so grateful that God gave me the talent, the gift of the talent, that I'm able to have a wonderful career in singing.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
And you're great doing that. Now we are going with Sandra Moreno from Mausan TV, México.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Gloria? ¿Sí me escuchó?
Hi. Mhm.
Hola, es un honor estar platicando aquí contigo. Bueno, referente a esta videografía, me encantaría, bueno, de I Will Survive, me encantaría preguntar, ¿cuál es el mensaje que te gustaría resaltar en esta película con complemento en esta canción que tú dejas y nos dejas como un antecedente de tu carrera y de lo que ahora eres como una persona extraordinaria?
Like I said earlier, the greatest message that I want to bring forth is how faith in God can help you to discover your gifts, talents, and abilities, to make the most of them, and to thrive, not only survive but to thrive. And that is ultimately where we want to get to. We don't always want to be struggling and surviving, but we want to thrive. And that's where my faith has brought me. That is what has kept me buoyant and able to make it through the difficult times in my life. And I highly recommend faith in Christ to help you through whatever it is you're going through. I mean, even your suffering isn't as bad if you have Him on your side, or more to the point, if you're on His side.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sandra. Now we are going with Nicolás Luber del país Uruguay.
Hi, Gloria. Pleased to meet you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
thank you very much for your time. I was wondering, you in the movie, you talk about the importance of your mother, and I was wondering, what can you tell us about her? And also, how it resonates the song "I Will Survive" with what is happening now in Los Angeles?
And where?
In LA.
In LA, Los Angeles.
Well, first of all, with my mother was a great encouragement to me. She was my backbone, my support. When she was alive, she passed away when I was only 25 years old. So there was a lot more that I could have and would have learned from her. But then there are still things that I remember that she talked to me about and taught me that are still, parts of the pillars of my life, and things that help me to survive, to thrive. And Mom is always with me. I'm always thinking of her, and she's always, her words are always ringing in my ears with different things that I'm going through, good things and difficult things. And as far as what's going on out in LA, it is insane as far as I'm concerned. And what I recognize is missing is love. There is no love. Even the people that are supposedly protesting for other people,
Thank you very much.
it's not about love. I don't know what it's about. But love doesn't express itself in violence.
Thank you so much for your kind words. And now we're going to Anaí Martinho, Folha São Paulo, Brazil.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Gloria.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to us. I'm Anaí from Folha de São Paulo, Brazil. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure.
We are in the Pride Month, and you have been considered a queen among LGBT people. You sang "I Am What I Am." The song is so powerful. And now we are living in weird times here in Brazil and also in the USA. Actually, worldwide, people are being forced to hide who they are. So I'd like to know, what do you think of these times we are living? Why so much hate? What would you say to people who are afraid to be themselves?
Well, see, as a Christian, I recognize that, as I heard in a film once, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he doesn't exist. But I know that he does exist, and I know that he's extremely busy during these times, and I know that so much of some of what is going on is empowered by him behind the scenes. And when people don't recognize what is empowering them, they think that it's them. They think that it's their own thoughts and their own feelings, and they go forward with them, and they want to push their thoughts and their desires and their feelings on other people and their beliefs on other people. And I will be the first to share every word of the Bible because that's what I believe, but I will never try to force anybody to believe. God doesn't call for us to force anybody to believe what we believe, to live the way we live, even to live the way He wants us to live. So I'm not about that. I'm not about forcing anybody to believe anything. And so that breaks my heart that so much violence and hatred is going on instead of the sharing of love, even of ideas and ideologies that are different from the people that you're speaking with. You have to share it with love. Otherwise, it is absolutely going to be rejected and you are defeating your own purpose.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Now we are going with Sugey Baños, El Universal, México.
Hola, buenas tardes, señora Gaynor. Es un honor platicar con usted. Y yo quisiera preguntarle dos cosas. La primera, de estos recuerdos que tuvo que revisitar para la biografía, ¿cuál fue el más complicado o difícil de abordar? Y la segunda sería, ¿qué se siente seguir siendo la reina de las pistas de baile?
Well, the most difficult part of the film for me was the passing of my mother, because that was something that I when it happened, it was the most horrible time in my life. Still remains the most horrible time in my life, and took me, a long time to accept it and learn to live without her. It was like the most difficult time in my life. And what it means to be the queen.
Queen of
Is that
Disco.
what you asked?
The Queen of Disco.
Queen of Disco?
Yes, the Queen of Disco.
It means to me now what it meant to me then. And that is that my music is the music that uplifts and encourages and empowers people and makes them feel better about themselves and about their lives, more so than any other music, because I was elected Queen of the Discos by the International Association of Discotheque Disc Jockeys, because they were seeing the responses to my music on the dance floor from their audiences. And so they came together and we had this inauguration in New York City. So it was a real election, and I feel extremely honored that they did that. But more so, I feel honored by the public that they were the ones that showed these disc jockeys that they found my music the best for dancing, the best for uplifting them and making them feel better and have good times.
Thank you. Now we are going with Rolando Gallego from Diario Hoy, Argentina.
Hola Gloria, un gusto poder hablar con vos y un honor. Y lo que quería saber es, when did you know that the song "I Will Survive" will become such iconic and inspire so many people? And also, if you have an approximate number of how many times do you play the song alive?
I don't know. I would hate to try to figure how many times I sang that song. I recorded it 3 times. And how many times I've sung it, I have no idea. It's just millions of times, I'm sure. Um, uh, and again, I forgot the first question.
How do you feel? And how do you feel to be able to be the owner and the singer of that iconic song, "I Will Survive"?
Well, I got a message from God some years ago, and He said to me very plainly, and I think this message was not just for me, I think it was for everyone, and everyone who hears this need to remember this. He said, "No one can keep you from having or receiving what I have for you except you." So I believe that this song was a gift from Him, a gift that came with a responsibility to let the song be heard as best I could, to do as much as I could to sing the song and let it be heard throughout the world to uplift, encourage, and empower people. It is surely the core of my purpose, and I believe that was a gift from Him.
Love it. Thank you so much. Now we are going to Chile. Marcela Gianatos en Palco, Chile.
Hi, Gloria. Hi, everyone. What song from your career, besides I Will Survive, do you feel is most connected to your personal story, and why?
Well, the song that's most connected, is a gospel song that I've had on my gospel album, my Grammy Award-winning gospel album, called "Talking About Jesus." And of course, it's because talking about Him and knowing that He is in my life and leading and guiding me and supplying my every need and doing all of the things that God does for us makes that song the most important for me.
Thank you. Now we are going with Gabriel Viala, Notícias da TV Brasil.
Hi, Gloria. This music recently has been rediscovered by a young audience. Have you noticed these at your shows or at your social media? A lot of young people really passionate about I Will Survive?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, my audience is from 8 to 80. And the children know every single word. I feel that the song has become like a family heirloom, that each generation is passing it down to the next generation because they all know it, they all love it, and it's such an honor for me to have been given that song.
That's a true gift that keep giving. Now we're going to Omar Pardavé, Milenio, Mexico.
Hello, Gloria. It's an honor to talk to you. My question is, what was your experience like watching a recreation of your life on the screen, especially something that have to be modified to the pace of the film?
Well, it was cleansing. It helped. It really helped me to be relieved of certain difficulties that I'd gone in my life. To see that I had overcome them, to actually see it on screen, was a real blessing. I loved the fact that what blessed me most was the fact that people were going to be able to see me go through these things and come out the other end triumphant and victorious, and to see that they could do it too. Because I've always said I'm not smart enough to make an original mistake. So whatever I've gone through, whatever I've done wrong, someone else has done that and has hoped that they could get past it. They hope that they could learn from it and grow from it, as I did with the different difficulties in my life. And I think that seeing it on the screen made me feel good that people would see it and gain that same insight and be able to emulate the fortitude that I had, the determination and the ability to overcome whatever difficulties they happen to be going through in their lives.
Thank you so much. Now we going with Belén Eligio from El Sol de México.
Thank you. Hello, Mrs. Gaynor. It's such an honor speaking with you. I would like to ask you about the story behind the song of I Will Survive. How was it like when you received the song, and how was the recording process like when you went into the studio and you immortalized this song?
Well, first of all, the song came to me, as you may or may not know, to be recorded for the B-side. The producers had made a deal with the record company that they would record a song that the record company's president wanted me to record if they could write the B-side. So they when I went to them to record, I asked them what was the B-side going to be. And when they gave me, well, first of all, they said, "We think you're the one we've been waiting for to record this song that we wrote 2 years ago." So when they read the lyrics to me, or they gave the lyrics to me and I read them, I thought, what are you, crazy? This is a timeless lyric that I'm relating to, because I was in a back brace at the time that I had surgery on my spine. I had lost my mother just a few years before. So I was thinking, this song is encouraging me in these things. Even as I read the lyrics, everyone is going to relate to this song. So I was very hopeful that recording this song was going to bring hope and encouragement to people. That was what I was thinking about. That was my purpose from the very beginning.
Thank you. Now we are going with Esther Palomino from Infobae. Infobae, Esther Palomino. Vamos con Daniel
Hola,
Bernal de
¿me
Cine
escuchan bien?
TV. Ahí está, César. Sí, perfecto. Dale.
Adelante, Esther.
Creo que tengo problemas con el internet. ¿Me escuchan bien?
Sí.
Sí.
Ok. Bueno. Hola. Muchas gracias por el tiempo y por la oportunidad de hacer la pregunta. Quisiera consultarte sobre el tema de tu fe, que ha sido muy importante en tu historia personal y creo que es un punto de quiebre en la vida de cualquier persona. ¿Cómo tu relación con Dios ha influido o se ha reflejado en tu música y ahora en esta nueva biopic que estás estrenando con Lifetime?
My faith has been reflected in the kind of lyrics that I sing, not the music so much, because I don't think the music matters. But I think that the lyrics very much matter. And so I'm very careful not to sing anything that I feel is contrary to the Word of God. I at one time in my career, I was going to stop singing secular music altogether. And God said to me very clearly, my word, the Bible, speaks of all the issues of life from my point of view. So what would make you think I wouldn't want you to sing songs about all the different things, the issues of life from my point of view? So that's what I've tried to do throughout my career. That's what I tried to do with my biopic, to bring forth my life from God's point of view, to bring forth all of the different things that I sing about from a heavenly biblical point of view.
Thank you. Now we're going with Marcel Botelho, Estación Nerd, Portal RG7 Brasil.
Hi, Gloria. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can.
Yes.
Hi. It's a huge honor talk to you, Gloria. The music industry has changed, and for your experience, do you think that in the 80s and in the 90s there was more freedom for artists to be more original? And please send your message for your fans in Brazil.
Well, I think that the the music industry has and always will have gatekeepers. That's the people who decide whether your subject matter of your song is something that the public should hear, or if the musical content is something that the public should hear. And sometimes that agrees, the artist agrees with that, and sometimes we don't. So we're blessed when they do agree, and when they don't agree, then it's kind of stifling. I think that the people in the 80s and 90s had more freedom to perform what's closest to their hearts and what they really wanted to get out to the people. In some cases, I think that was wonderful. In other cases, I think they probably should have kept them under wraps. But yeah, they definitely had more freedom in the 80s and 90s to record what was closest to their hearts and what they really wanted to put out.
Thank you so much. Now we are going with Daniel Bernal.
Message for
sorry? The fans of Brazil.
Oh, to the fans of Brazil, I love you, and I am so honored that when I come to Brazil, I am so well received, and there's such an outpouring of love whenever I come there. When I performed for in Rio at Rock in Rio, and you know, every time that I go there, I get so warmly received that I'm always anxious and willing to come back.
Thank you. Now we are going with Daniel Bernal from Cine TV y Más Chile.
Now it's my turn. Well, it's a very pleasure to talk to you right now, Gloria. My question is, do you intentionally left anything out of the documentary, both from your career and on your personal life? And the second one, my second question is the most important for your fans. If you would like to be on tour again sometime. Thank you, Gloria.
Well, first of all, I am always on tour. I'm always performing. This is a big world, and so I'm always performing all over the world. This summer, I have performances in Greece and Turkey and Spain and England and Switzerland and Italy. So I'm always performing in different parts of the world. Whether I left anything out of my documentary on purpose, no, I don't think so. I think I was pretty transparent in the film. And, you know, like I always say, you can't put somebody's entire life in an hour and a half. But I don't think that there's anything that anybody wanted to know about or should know about that I left out, that I, for any reason.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Now we are going with Natalia Pandeló, Mundo da Música Brasil. Natalia?
Hello, Gloria.
Yes.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Gloria. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. And one thing that Brazil and the US have in common, one of the many things, is that we love biopics. And I've noticed that biopics usually came out after someone was gone. And now that's not the case anymore. So I was just curious, what is it like to see your story told on screen and actually be here to watch it with all of us? What is it like to watch it as a third party instead of just living it?
It's cathartic. It helps you to purge and get rid of negative feelings that you may have had about certain things that happened in your life. It's uplifting and encouraging and empowering, in that you feel that, or at least I felt that, I was sharing things with people that would help them to overcome difficult times in their lives. So it was kind of empowering for me. That was mostly what I felt. There were certain things that they did, the way that it was done, I wouldn't have had it done that way, but nothing important, certainly nothing important. They did a very good job.
Yeah, I bet. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Gloria.
much. Now, we have a question from Semana, la revista Semana Colombia. How was your work with Joaquina Calucango and Lance Gross? How this movie inspired not only to survive, but also to succeed and thrive?
Well, the work, I never got to work with Lance. I met him, but I'd admire him and his work long before that. But I didn't get to work with him. I did get to meet Joaquina, and we did a couple of television shows together. You know, got to see what a sweet and lovely person that she is in person, and it was wonderful having her because she's a great actress, and I just thought she did a really wonderful job in portraying me, and so that was such a pleasure getting to know her.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Now we have Victoria Hope, Amélie Magazine.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Hi,
Yes, I see
everyone.
you.
Hi,
Hi.
Gloria. Hi. My question is very simple, Gloria. Let's travel through time and go back to when you were younger. If you could tell one thing to yourself as a young kid about your music, about what inspires you, what would be that thing that you would tell to yourself, especially about music?
I would tell myself to be yourself. Just be who you are. Recognize who you are and be that. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to emulate anyone else. You can gain advice from other people, and you can tell if you get to see how other people handle different situations in their lives. You can learn from that, but you must always be who you are. Know who you are and know your own self-worth, because if you don't know your own self-worth, no one will pay it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we are going with Montserrat Rosas, Ventaneando, México.
Hi, this is Monse, and my question is, do you were afraid to talk about something about your life in this biopic, or it was a kind of condition to talk about something? Thank you.
No, I felt free to say whatever I wanted to say, as long as I wanted to tell my story. I didn't want to tell my ex-husband's story. I didn't want to tell anybody else's story, except where it intertwined with mine. And so there wasn't anything I felt that was left out, except that, of course, like I said, you can't tell anybody's entire life in an hour and a half. So, you know, you had to cut it back on some things. But as far as subject matter is concerned, I don't think there was anything that I wanted to tell that I didn't.
Thank you. Now we are going with Matías Horta, a Sala Llena, Argentina.
Sí, aquí. Hi, Gloria.
Hi.
Hi. Sí, mi pregunta es, cuando viste la película terminada, ¿qué aspectos te sorprendieron cómo quedaron? ¿Fue alguna actuación? ¿Fue alguna escena? ¿Qué es lo que más te sorprendió cuando viste la película?
One of the things that was striking to me was how much Joaquina looked like me in certain times, like when I was in the hospital, and at the end of the film when she walked to the piano, there's several different times in there where she, to me, looked just like me, and that was surprising. That because she's a gorgeous young lady, so that was kind of flattering for me.
Thank you. Now we are going with Guillermo Martínez, Sincericidio, Argentina. Guillermo?
He's not here, César.
Okay. We are going with Arturo Tobar, Movix. Okay. Gerardo Urrutia, Diario en Línea.
No, aquí estoy.
Arturo,
¿Qué tal,
come on.
Gloria? Buenos días, buenas tardes, no sé dónde te encuentres.
Sorry.
Bueno,
Vamos con Arturo primero, entonces. Arturo?
Hello, Miss Gaynor. It's such a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As an audiophile, I was when they told me I was going to make a question for you. At first, I was afraid, but then I was petrified. But it's been 81 years you're 81 years old. It's been 50 plus years of your career. Seeing them reflected in this movie, what would you say it was the hardest thing to see, and what the thing that brought you the most pleasure to have the chance to relive here?
The hardest thing to see was the disrespect and disregard of my ex-husband. And the thing that I was really pleased to see, the pleas that they put in, was how God spoke to me and stopped me from getting involved in cocaine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now we are going with Gerardo Urrutia, Diario en Línea. Gerardo? I think we lost him. We are going with Alice
Gerardo?
Lins, Radio Jornal Brasil. Alice? Do we have Gerardo or Alice, Mariana? Okay. So
Sí,
now
¿sí me escucho?
Alice is here.
Sí,
Alice,
perfecto.
come on.
Sorry, Gloria.
Gerardo,
That's
yo soy
okay.
Gerardo.
Yes, we hear
Hola,
you.
hola Gloria, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, buenas tardes, no sé dónde te
Hi.
encuentres. Bueno, ahorita escuchar a Sobreviviré, ¿verdad? Nos remonta a una bella época, la época de disco. Bueno, alguna anécdota que tú tengas, ¿verdad? Que nos puedas comentar de aquella época que se vivió, la época de disco, algo que te haya dejado, pues, alguna experiencia grata.
Well, one of my most pleasant experiences was at this just came to mind was at Studio 54, where they had the inauguration of me as Queen of Disco. That was an incredible. The disc jockeys came from all over the world, and to show the result of their election. There were so many people there. They had police barricades in the entire street, the whole block, and to be honored like that by New Yorkers who are so jaded. It was incredible for me, and I will never forget that night.
Thank you. Now we are going with Alice Lins, Radio Jornal Brasil.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, God, thank you. Hi, I'm Alice from Jornal do Comércio, Brazil. And since we're in Pride Month, I would like to ask you something about that. As you know, at the Disco Queen, you were very embraced by the LGBTQ community, and so did your music. And the title of your film is named by one of the greatest songs, and for you, for the world, and for the community. And I would like to know, is it just a coincidence that the film is being released in Pride Month, or did you want it to be released in June?
Well, no, I really had nothing to do with when the film was released, so I can't claim that.
However, I can answer that. Yes, in the case of Lifetime, we did it in purpose. Alice, ¿vos prefiere portugués, inglés o español? But we did it in purpose. Lo hicimos a propósito porque una de las cosas más importantes para Lifetime es reconocer a todas nuestras audiencias. Y era muy importante para nosotros hacer dos cosas. Uno, en el mes de junio, tener que hacerle un homenaje o un tributo a la comunidad LGBTQ, ¿sí? Pero también teníamos un estreno. Y también teníamos un estreno importante que era I Will Survive con Gloria Gaynor, pero sobre todo dirigido y producido por Robbie Roberts. Nosotros hicimos que esas dos cosas consideran, como tú bien sabes, Lifetime es una marca que tiene contenido por y para la mujer, con historias que cuentan con perspectiva femenina. Y esa es una historia muy poderosa que inspira y que sigue dando fuerza alrededor del mundo con un tema o un himno tan importante como es Sobreviviré.
Thank you so much. And thank you,
It's
Gloria, for your time.
Thank you.
And now we are going with the next question. Guillermo Martinez, and the last one. Guillermo Martinez from Sinceridio, Argentina.
Hi, Gloria. It's a pleasure for me. Is this production a closing chapter or a new beginning for you?
It's a continuation of my career. It's just a part of a continuation. I can't say that it's the beginning of anything because I don't know if anything will follow that has to do with the film. But it's a continuation.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Now, Gloria, I know it's 1 hour. I know it's 81 years old. I know you are a Jersey girl. I saw you also at the Hall of Fame in Jersey, and I was able to see your hologram and even talk to your hologram in New Jersey.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
amazing. You see it. And then also, everybody have danced, and we are so happy we will keep dancing to the songs of the Disco Queen. But I want you to please, now, in your last words for this particular event, to recommend people to watch Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive in Lifetime, please.
Okay. This is Gloria Gaynor inviting, encouraging you to watch the video, I'm sorry, to start again, please.
Sure.
Hi, this is Gloria Gaynor inviting, encouraging everyone to watch the biopic Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. I hope that it will be encouraging, uplifting, and empowering to you as you enjoy all that you see there. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Have been amazing to not only singing, you sing a little of your new record, but also be able to experience with you certain things from your past, like the footage from Viña del Mar, or the stories from Brazil, the stories from Argentina, or Studio 54, New York. But it was also great to see you so full of joy, so full of faith and love to give and to share. And that's what is truly inspiring. Not only your songs, but especially your soul. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
everything.
much. Thank you much.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I Will Survive. Por Lifetime.